Hello everyone, welcome to another video. So today we're going to take the engine off my Golf MK5 DSG, the PD130 BXE engine, and yeah, we're going to take this engine off and we're going to do the swap for ASZ engine PD130. So with this engine, standard engine, completely standard engine, yeah, the 280 horsepower. It still runs fine, but I want to upgrade because sooner or later we'll break it. So I already built the engine for it. This is the engine, it's gonna go on there. The cover is still unscrewed because I still need to put the injectors, but I can show you quickly here. So it has brand new camshaft, vacuum camshaft, upgrade springs, ported pistons, everything. New cam belt as well. Has brand new cam belt. Yeah, that's the engine for it. And then I have to replace the crank sensor as well. I have to modify this hull. If you go to my previous videos, I have a video there how to make this hole and how to fit the sensor. Yeah, this is AXZ engine. Probably you guys can't see it, whatever. So yeah, the plan is this engine goes on this car, and at the moment it has a 2262 VK. So I'm gonna take the turbo off and send it off to Luis for remachine to do ball bearing, because this turbo is not ball bearing, so I want ball bearing, and I want 400 horsepower of this car. I don't know if the standard gearbox will hold, but we'll see. You know, we need to try. So yeah, this is the intercooler pipes I made for this car as well. You guys can see on my previous videos all the jobs I've been doing to this car. Another thing I'm gonna have to upgrade the brakes, because this brakes is really shit. So yeah guys, stay tuned. I'm gonna take you through it. So first step I always do before do anything else, take the wheels off, take the front bumper off, coolant, engine oil, drain the engine oil, and then I'm gonna have to remove this bottom wheel arch, I believe, take the headlights, and as soon as you have all the front end off, it's much easier to work with. Off, 2 bolts on the top here, 4 bolts from the crash bar on each side, and you have to unplug the headlight plug. Another plug here, I think it's for the lock mechanism. You have to unplug the cable, take the aircon pipes. You have to empty the gas first, take the intercooler pipes, coolant hose, fan plug, intercooler pipe, and another plug on this side, and the front end will come off. You guys can see there all the coolant hose, the intercooler pipes. And so now I need to take this aircon pipe, unplug all the wires, bits and pieces, and then I need to take the drive shafts and we'll be ready to come out, and I need to take the exhaust as well. So already unplugged everything, aircon, all the coolant hose, all the wiring. I unplugged the coolant hose from the engine as well. Some people take the coolant hose with the engine, but I'm gonna leave this here. I took the drive shafts off, is there. The only thing left is the engine mount, and pull the engine out. So the engine is out. Now I have to remove all the auxiliaries into the other engine, like alternators and con pumps, start motors, the complete gearbox going to go on another engine as well. The turbo, I have to send it over to Lewis so they can machine inside to put bearings in it. And yeah, I'm gonna have to put this engine mount there. I'm gonna have to take the injectors off this engine as well to fit on the on that engine. Yeah. So everything I need is out, like start motor, injectors, aircon pumps and alternators and that. Already take the turbo off to send 2 skillet turbos as well. The only thing left I have to remove is the gearbox, but this gearbox is a monster. It's just too big, so I can lift by my own, but I'll probably wait until tomorrow and remove the gearbox. If you guys can imagine the size, they are huge. So yeah, so now I need to assemble this engine. I don't know why I have it here for. I need to assemble this engine. And by the way, on the future, I'm gonna fit DSG gearbox on my racing car. But I just need to get around a few cars. I need to finish it first, and then I'll start get this back. No, it's not back to the car. It's back. Is everything working fine? But I have the radiator to fit, and I'm probably gonna fit a DSG gearbox and see what is like with the DSG gearbox in it. So yeah, now let's build that engine. So guys, now we have a little bit of problem here on the alternator. This bit, this is like a sleeve, is too tight. So to fit this in the way it is, I'm gonna have to hammer it to put pressure to go in. But I don't want to do that because these legs can break. So normally what I'll do, I'll get like a 21 mil, don't know if you guys can see, socket, fit on this hole with the bolt, tight all the way through. And if you can imagine, when this puts pressure, it pulls that thing in. I'll show you, I don't know if you guys can see it. But when you start to tight, these pins start to come off. It's really stiff. Yeah, but it's good enough. Because normally people just put the bolt like this. I used to do like this, but until I broke one of the alternator things. Normally I was putting the bolt like this and hammer on this side, and this normally slides. But if it's too tight, it's going to break this leg. So if you guys can see now how much is moved. So if you're trying to fit the alternator now, the top bit doesn't go in still, so I need to do the top bit as well. So the engine is all assembly apart from the turbo, because I need to wait for the turbo to come back from skillet turbos. So new aux belt, new timing belt, cylinder head ported, springs, camshaft, ported pistons or machine pistons, whatever you guys want to call it. The crank sensor, the spigot bearing, because it's DSG gearbox needs to have a spigot bearing. What else is on this engine? I'll trying to show you the porting. There is my porting. There's my porting. So yeah, so now I need to wait until tomorrow so I can have some help taking this gearbox out and the flywheel. I'm probably gonna have to buy a set of bolts for the flywheel for the crank, because that bolt is stretched, so I need to buy new ones. So I already removed the flywheel and the gearbox. I'm gonna need to take this aluminium plate off and these guides as well, because this engine doesn't have the plate and doesn't have the guides, so I need to take that off this engine. And there is the flywheel. I have a little bit of movement like this, you guys can see, but that is normal, moves up and down as well, because the gearbox goes here and stops the movement up and down when it's all aligned with this shaft here. Yeah, with this shaft inside here, that's where is the clutch go. I never have to take one apart to place the clutch, but I have a gearbox here. I have to take the mechatronics off, but I think I'm gonna open up and see what's the clutch look like from inside, because I have never take one of those apart. I bought this one second hand. The guy told me is good, was working, but I think I'm gonna take it apart, see what it's like, see if we can find any upgrades for it. Because I think it's not gonna be enough to hold the power. So yeah, so what I'm gonna do now, remove this, install another engine, remove the guides as well, and put the flywheel on and trying to put the gearbox on. So the plate is in, the guides is already in. You can't miss this, guys, because if your engine has a guide and the gearbox has a guide as well, when you're trying to fit in, it's not gonna fit because there's already a guide on the engine or the gearbox. So when you're changing your gearbox, let's say, you just have to make sure the engine or the gearbox have the guides in place, or the gearbox can't have the guides, because otherwise if it's the gearbox have the guides in and the engine have the guides in as well, you're not going to be able to fit the gearbox. So the flywheel is in place, it's on the correct place. It's only one position you can fit these flywheels. These flywheels or any other flywheels on this engine in particular. Because if you're trying to move to this hole, it lines with that one, but it doesn't line with the other ones. Yeah, and so. So if you keep turning, it lines with that one, but it doesn't line with that one. So you're gonna have to turn it until you find the right spot for it. So, and my spot, there he is. No, it's still, yes, it does line with all the holes. Yeah, that's just a crank there, just a crank, so it does line with all the holes. So I have bought brand new bolts for it as well. So I'm gonna put the bolts in and tie it to the spec. So I was trying to fit the gearbox on the engine and actually stand, but I can't fit the gearbox because it's touching on my stand on the back here. Yeah, this thing for the drive shaft is touching on the frame. So I probably could release these four bolts here and slide the engine towards this side, but I'm not gonna do it because I think the stand I made there, I have to make this stand to hold the engine in this position. I think you guys can see it. It's normally the engine stands like this because you hold it on the flywheel side, but on this stand I made different, so I can fit the gearbox and I can fit the flywheel and I can fit the crank sensor. But unfortunately the gearbox won't fit, but it don't bother me too much because this gearbox is about 60 to 70 kg, so that's why I'm using the crane to lift it. I could do by hand, but I don't want to kill my back. So I'm probably gonna have to take the engine off the stand to fit in the gearbox. But I'm probably gonna have to ask for some help because I have to hold the engine as somebody wiggles the gearbox to go in. So yeah, so I think I have to take the engines off the stand, unfortunately. I'm gonna try one last thing before I'll give up. I'm gonna try to remove this for the drive shaft, see if it fits. But this bit here is still a little bit long, but I'll try. If I don't try, I wouldn't know, so I'll try it. So I managed to fit the gearbox onto the engine on the stand, but it's touching a little bit where the cup goes. It touches a little bit there. I don't know if you guys can see it there. So next time I'll probably move the engine a little bit to the left, or if I cut a little bit here, should be able to fit. You guys can see there is a little gap. I just put the bolt in. I haven't tied too much, otherwise we'll break the casing on the gearbox. And by the way, I have to replace this. This is not standard. I'll show you the standard ones on this gearbox here. Yeah, this is the standard ones. I have to replace it so I can fit upgrade drive shafts, because my inner CB joints, they keep breaking and the car just wobbling. I think I've been doing too much launch controls on this, but yeah, the first one broke. I bought another one. It broke exactly in the same place on the inner CV joint on the left side. So I end up replacing the drive shafts. So yeah, that's that. So I can't fit the start motor because I have a bolt inside there. I think you guys can see. So I still need to tie it all around. When I put the engine crane and take the engine off the crane or the stand, whatever you guys want to call, I'll title the gearbox. But yeah, I think that's all for this video. I'll still need to wait for the turbo to arrive because the turbo is not here yet. But I think before fit the turbo, I'm gonna fit the engine in the car because the turbo is gonna take a while. So but I'm not gonna record fitting the engine into the car because it's just basically just a reversing process as what I was doing. So yes guys, thank you for watching. Don't forget, like, subscribe, comment if you want any more content on these engines or either gearbox or the car, you know. If you want any content on this or if you have any questions, just comment. I'll try to reply. So thanks for watching. See you on the next one, guys. There is the old engine. So if there's anybody interested, just let me know. It's running, but the only thing I'm gonna take off this is the tandem pump. So bye. Pá, os meus amigos não fazem um caralho da vida, não vão trabalhar, não vão fazer nada e vamos ver se está aqui alguém a ajudar-me. Tá bonito, tá bonito. Ninguém ajuda o pobre, cara. O pobre tem que se safar sempre sozinho, sempre. O motor já está montado, só precisava de ajuda, era para tirar ali aquela caixa de velocidades que a puta é pesada para caralho. Mas pronto, eu deixo amanhã, para amanhã faço. Fazer o quê?